As people may or may not know, you started off doing Shopify dropshipping. What made you get into Shopify dropshipping? How did you sort of discover it and start your first store?
So I knew about it a while ago. My mom actually told me about it ages ago. She also told me about Bitcoin before it went fucking crazy, but she told me about it ages ago. I tried, and then I met someone actually in college, which is like high school basically for American people, and he kind of spoke a little bit about it. I then tried like one store, didn't really do much of it, and then I did a bunch of other different businesses, and then he actually wanted me to come on as like a customer service agent, help him with the back end stuff. So I kind of came on, as in like he was paying like a couple $100 a month, and I was just like, this is the best opportunity because I get in the door, you know? Basically working for free almost, because wasn't really getting paid enough, but I didn't really give a fuck. And then after I was helping him with his current dropshipping stores, he then, we kind of negotiated. I got 30% and then negotiated up to 50%, and we kind of started doing dropshipping stores together. So I was very, very fortunate right in the beginning, purely just to have that kind of like friendship with him and the connection with him. And then he taught me a lot of the shit that I know today, and that gave me the boost. Like I don't know, if I didn't meet him, I don't know if I'd be in the same position I am today, right?
Yeah, a lot of times all it takes is that one person to change the trajectory of your life.
Crazy.
How old were you at that time, Ralph? You said like high school, was it 17?
I must have been, so I first originally met him when I was probably like 17, something like this. And then I went and I actually did a bunch of other different businesses, and I've done other stuff like in the past as well. But probably started e-commerce maybe when I was like 18, I think.
All right. And yeah, talking about other things you started beforehand, what other business ventures had you done up until that point? Obviously that you're comfortable with disclosing to the people out there.
So I've done a bunch of different things. I've done like agency style things, obviously like loads of e-commerce, different businesses, dropshipping, stuff like this, and stuff we'll talk about in a second. But I've also done like street selling, kind of selling. I used to sell waffles on the street, like handmade waffles, but like waffles that like make in front of people and shit like this.
When you say street selling, was it like you had your own stall?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like a hot dog stand?
Yeah, literally like a hot dog stand.
Right.
Like we had like a gazebo and shit like this, and we'd sell it like the market and stuff like this.
How old were you when you started that?
I'm not sure, maybe like 15.
Okay.
Like maybe 15 to 16. We even went to like a music festival. We like dressed up, me and my boy. We dressed up as like Humpty Dumpty, and we went and like did this, and we were like grabbing everyone and bringing them to the waffle stand and shit like this. Before this, I did like kind of like eBay selling as well. So I'd sell on eBay, like just kind of random side hustles. I sold Supreme for a long time. Supreme and like shoes and stuff like this. That went really well reselling. It was really good. It's really good. I'm not sure how it is now, but
how come you never stuck to that then? Because a lot of people they stick to reselling, make quite a bit, and then use that capital whatever to start something else.
So I don't like it because you're kind of at the whim of the brand that you're reselling, right? So say if like Supreme decides to change something tomorrow, you're fucked. Like your whole business model's gone. Or like say Nike changes their botting thing. Like botting back when I was doing it, it was super good, right? The bots were going for 3, 4, 5K. Now they go for like $400. Like the same bots are going for nothing because it's so much harder. It's a very different market, right? It's completely changed. And also it's not very scalable. There is things that you can do within the industry to scale, but most people that are actually doing like Supreme reselling and stuff like this, they're doing it as a side hustle. Whereas I think most people that are kind of doing e-commerce, there's a lot more people seeing success with pure e-commerce than there is people seeing success with like reselling, making like 10, 20, 30K profit a month.
Yeah, it's a lot less consistency. You're holding on to stock for a longer period of time. There's a lot of hassles that come with it.
It's very good money. It's very good money. Like I was 16, maybe the best day I had was like 1.5, 2K profit in a day, like pounds.
Yeah, as a teenager.
As a teenager,
it's
like,
amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy. Especially like seeing that much money, because I would go into the actual Supreme store and stuff like this in London, like queue up on the streets. Like I tried to get a Rimowa suitcase with a Supreme collab, and we queued up. We slept in like, I think it's Mayfair or some shit, some fancy part of London.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Yeah, it's super cool to see like that much money transacting, and like all those guys that they originally started doing reselling when they were 16. Well, not all of them, but majority of them, they've then gone on to do different businesses, whether that's e-commerce, dropshipping, agency stuff, like a bunch of different things.
Yeah, it sets up a good foundation, right? It teaches you, in general, you need to sell something, right? You buy something cheaper, sell it for more. And a lot of people don't learn that in school, right?